Host for today's Purolator 500 race broadcast is Barney Hall.
Welcome to the episode of Truck Talk. So this episode, we all know the end of the season's coming. Not many races left. But, you got people moving to different teams. It's been happening the last few weeks. It's happening here. 2 big moves today. Let's go over them, and then that will be a little short episode here. Alright, so first, let's start off with GMS Racing, which is in the Xfinity Series, which is owned by Maurice Gallagher. GMS is going to sign Sheldon Creed, an ARCA driver who's in the running for the championship, or championship contender. I think the season already ended, but he was a championship contender in the ARCA series. They're going to bring him over for the last races of the season. They didn't really made it clear what car he's going to, but we know he's there. He's going to be there. I don't think that's starting this weekend, but it might be, who knows. But he's going to go over there. He's a great driver. He won 3 or 4 races in the ARCA series this year. Maybe 5. Maybe 5 races in the ARCA series this year. Because he won recently, too. I know that. So he's moving over to GMS. So that's going to give him a good driver. And possibly they'll extend the contract. And he'll be there for a while. And then next, the huge move that I'm not really a fan of, but I'll go over that, is Noah Gragson. He's moving to the Xfinity Series. He's going to go to JR Motorsports, which is Dale Jr.'s race team. He's going over there for the number 1 car. We all know that Elliott Sadler's retiring after this season. So Noah Gragson's going to take over the number 1 car, which is big news. That is a really fast car in the Xfinity Series, kind of a classic, possibly again, future iconic Xfinity Series number after that Elliott Sadler. Only 2 wins in the Xfinity Series, which is really surprising, but he still puts up a great amount of top 10s. So he's definitely, he's a great driver, probably future Hall of Famer, if I'm going to be honest. But I don't really agree with this, because Noah Gragson, he's a great driver. He's going to have a long career in the Cup Series, but, he's going to JR Motorsports, which is a feeder team to Hendrick Motorsports. And you got a really young roster at Hendrick Motorsports with Willie Byron, Alex Bowman. And so I can't think of the third one. I don't know. This is going to bother me. Just got to think about the cars. The 24, Willie Byron. 88, Alex Bowman. And crap. But I was just going through the numbers in my head. But, you have that. This is going to bother me the rest of the day. Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott. How did I forget about him? Oh my gosh. So you have a short roster, a really young roster, and then you have an elder like Jimmy Johnson up there, but you got a waiting list in the Xfinity Series. Like Tyler Reddick won Daytona this year. He's going to be on top of the waiting list when Jimmy steps down. Justin Allgaier, magnificent season. You got to think he's on that waiting list too. He's a little bit of an older driver, but you're going to think Rick is looking at putting him in Jimmy Johnson's place when Jimmy retires, which could be soon because we'll talk about that another day, probably in the off season. But Noah Gragson, with this move, he's kind of in an empty spot. He's kind of been like a place where he can't really go forward in his career unless he switches to a smaller team. With Joe Gibbs, you got some older drivers there. You've got you got the age shift. The shifting in the age, the giving off the torches. We're in about that 5-year period right now, where everyone's changing and retiring, and a new generation's coming in and taking over. So you got to think, he's not he's gonna have a long time before he goes over, unless he could really prove that he's worth getting put up there. Probably posting up a 4 or 5 win season to get put up there, or he's going to go to a different team. And I think if he stayed at Joe Gibbs Racing, they're constantly shifting. They got 2 older drivers. Kyle Busch, he's going to be here for a long time. He's in his prime right now, let's be honest here. But you got an older driver like Denny Hamlin, who hasn't really been doing well the last couple seasons. He's in the playoff, yes, but he's not going to get your team a championship. So they might be looking at retiring him. Who knows? But I don't think it was a great career move. Yes, it was a great career move for the Xfinity Series, but you got to look ahead to the Cup Series. What is it going to bring Noah Gragson? Probably not much. He's going to have to go to a different team. Roush Fenway, I think he... you can't obviously choose your team, but I would have held out probably a year more in the Truck Series. Penske, he could prove what he's doing, go to Penske. And the Xfinity Series, because they don't have great Xfinity drivers. And, they're kind of connected with Roush Fenway, who's having a whole bunch of trouble. They've got a couple drivers that aren't really working. Trevor Bayne, he's leaving. Stenhouse, I think they're going to drop him soon because he's not a winning driver. So Gragson, you can't really go there, but you can't choose. But if you had more offers, though, I would have gone with one of those. And then we'll talk about the big news, other big news later on in the week. We have, they officially announced that, I'm bad with the names today. I can't believe this, guys. I'm never like this. AJ Allmendinger is officially leaving JTG Racing after the end of the season. Obviously hasn't really performed well. Chris Buescher has gotten them their only win. And possibly the Cup Series. In the modern era, at least. So that is big news also. So you're going to have someone shifting into there. Possibly an Xfinity Series driver. And possibly someone like Trevor Bayne would be a good fit to the team. But we'll talk about that more tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. And I had a little rant there. That was a nice little rant. Terrible with the names today, though. I feel like a lot of stress got lifted off. Remember Chase Elliott. Thank you guys for watching. And see you on... I think I'll do an episode tomorrow. I'm trying to do it so that I don't really get mixed up with the basketball schedule. So I'm trying to do it around that. We only have 2 practices a season. Or a week, sorry. Oh man, alright, weird person. There's just like 2 practices a week, so I'm just trying to get around that. Because I get home at nighttime. So I can't really do any episode then. But we're going to get around it. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Probably I'll rant about someone else. But thank you guys for watching. Great race this weekend. This is my second favorite race. Third favorite race of the year. Hasn't even happened. Haven't even been at this track yet. But I'll go with my order in the off season. I'll go over all my top 10s and all that. Thank you guys for watching, and see you tomorrow.